And greetings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Vorm. I play lots of strategy, management, tactics, war, survival games. This is one of them, and it's new to me. This is Stationeers. I have fiddled around a little bit in-game, off-camera, just to get a handle on the basics of the interface. I've done a little bit of research on it. It is deeper in system complexity than a lot of the survival games I play. So there's going to be a lot of learning going on here in this first look. A lot of me figuring stuff out, reading in-game wiki article pages and details and all that kind of stuff. So I am not an expert. Don't watch this video to learn how to play the game. This is me learning myself. First look. So Stationeers, what does it do? What do you do in this game? You pick a planet, moon, or asteroid. There's a number of choices with varying kind of difficulty conditions. Then you pick some difficulty options. You pick some amount of supplies. You're going to start with options, and then you press go, and you're dropped onto the planet /asteroid /moon, and you have some tools. You have some raw materials to begin with, and you go. You try to build a station that will keep you alive and hopefully thriving as you expand it and build upon it and get deeper and deeper into the gameplay and mechanics and so on. It does lean a little bit further into the realism side of things with some gamified side things. It takes liberties with certain things in regard to providing a good gaming experience, but it does lean quite heavily into electrical, mechanical, fluid dynamics, gas dynamics, pressure dynamics, a lot of stuff going on. So if you're an aspiring HVAC engineer, you may really enjoy this. So you can be played solo. It can be played co-op. But we'll see how far we get. I'm going to be ignorant. I'm probably going to find lots of cool ways to, self-terminate and start over. So we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and get going. I've turned the music off. I have no idea if the music is good, bad, or other, or copyrighted. So I just turned it off for now. We're just going to jump in. Did it save my setting? Nope, it jumped me. I don't think... That 180 hertz is annoying me. It keeps jumping back up to that, but I don't think it's actually... I think maybe it did jump back to 180. I don't want 180. I want 60. Leave it on 60. You make my GPU spin up and turbo speed those fans, and I'm getting tired of it. Stop it. All right. Hopefully it behaves. All right. Let's go ahead and hit New World. First choice. We can choose a world. So we've got the moon selected. I think this is the intended kind of intro location. Then there's Mars, Mimas. I have no idea what or where Mimas is, orbiting Saturn. Oh, okay. So is it a moon or an asteroid orbiting Saturn? Whichever. I don't think I've ever heard of Mimas. Europa, Colosseum. And these seem to be going in order of difficulty as we descend down this list. We got Venus, Miasma, and Vulcan. That apparently is not anywhere near Earth. Okay, so we're gonna start on the moon, and then we've got choices of what location we start with or start at on the moon: Crater Vesper, Montes Umbrarum, Crater Nox, or Mons Arcanus. I think I did Montes Umbrarum in my short test I did. We'll jump into that one. We'll see if it's the same one. So we've got some information on the right here. Beginner, summary, orbiting Earth, gravity 17% of Earth. Sol transits the sky every 20 minutes at 88 degrees. Orbits Sol every 20 minutes. Sol provides 1315 to 1407 watts per meter squared. So density of power from the solar power. Set on the boundary of Lunar Mare, where ancient lava plains meet the jagged highlands. The terrain is a mix of open flats and fractured ridges shaped by impacts and volcanic history. With no atmosphere, it provides a stark but stable environment for lunar operations. So atmosphere is a big thing, of course. And some of these other locations have atmosphere you have to deal with. Different pressure situations, temperature situations, and so on. Moon... vacuum, no atmosphere, fairly friendly in most ways. ish comparatively to some of these other locations. So we're going to go with that at Montrese Umbrerum. We'll hit next, and now we have a difficulty choice. Creative. Nah. We're going to go easy, though. I am going to play on easy mode. There is a lot I need to learn, both in usability of the interface, which I'm still, after my little bit of playtime, struggling with. And you can see some of the differentiation over here. On easy mode, we've got only half the metabolism rate, half food decay, double mining yield, lung damage rate of 8%. I assume that's if I pop my helmet open. The vacuum is going to inflict that kind of damage per whatever period of time. And then offline metabolism. I think this is a server setup for when you have a server with multiple people playing. If somebody goes offline, the metabolism still has to be maintained. It simulates them still being in the world, not just them disappearing from reality and then reappearing from reality later, because it's trying to maintain kind of a simulation aspect in regards to necessary materials and resources to keep the participating people alive. And I think there's ways of offsetting that via like cryo chambers or something you can have your character climb into that will slow down the metabolism rate while you're offline. But it won't come into play during our playthrough here. And then in normal, eating and drinking through the helmet is disabled. So they don't mention that here on easy mode. But in easy mode, we're able or allowed to eat and drink things without having to worry about popping our helmet open or taking it off, basically establishing a safe environment first. So we'll get to normal and stationeer mode later. For now, we're going to stick to easy, but I just wanted to look at these. So lung damage enabled, metabolism rate. Oh, yeah. 1.5 on nutrition and hydration. Breathing rate is increased. A robot battery rate. Okay, yeah, lung damage times 4. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely going easy mode. Next, now we have a choice of standard or brutal, and this is your start conditions. It's separate from the difficulty options and your location selection. Standard is going to get us these. We're going to have our landing capsule that we arrive in, and it's just going to have a bag with some bottles of water and some cereal bars. That's it. It's the capsule and those 2 items. And then there's going to be nearby a lander with a bunch of other supplies. We got an oxygen tank, a water tank, and a fuel tank. And then we've got crates for various supplies. We've got construction, electrical, airlock, survival, and hydroponics supplies. If we hit brutal, that gets vastly limited. We still have our lander capsule, but the supply capsule apparently crashes upon landing, or it fails the landing maneuvers, and you only get this minimum supplies. So it's a much harder start because you have way less resources and you've got to know the steps to go through. We're going to play standard, of course, because I don't have any idea what I'm doing, really. So there we go. Let's go ahead and hit start game and see what happens. Hopefully I got the right location just so I can do the same place as I did previously. All right, here we are in our capsule. Final approach, about to land. That's our water and our cereal bars right there. We can look into our neck. We have a neck hole. All right, here we are. The little lines you see racing off are indications of the gas escaping or moving in a particular direction. Yeah, this is the place I remember. All right. So I think within your selection of planet or asteroid or moon or whatever, and then you can sub-pick a particular location. We had like 4 or 5 choices. I think you always have the exact same geography, but I believe the resources that you would go mine is randomized. That's my understanding. So, here we are. There's the sun. I don't know what that is. Where's Earth? We should be able to see Earth. I guess maybe we'll rotate around to it eventually. Oh, Earth's right there. It's kind of being overshadowed by the sun being just above it. I think the sun... Are you going up or down? You're going up. All right, so from here to our lander... Looks like the sun, I think, is going to transit that way, which could make a difference in the orientation of our solar panels. Let's talk a little bit about an interface. I don't have a lot of time to explain stuff. I have fiddled with it enough and done enough research that I can talk about a few things, but I got to get moving on stuff because time does matter. We're playing on fairly easy mode, so I don't think I'm in a super big hurry. But, you know, it'd be good to get some stuff done. So in the upper left, we have a currently selected F2, which is kind of a mini mission setup. It's going to start putting things up there, telling me to do certain things. So right now it wants me to build a 2x3 platform with some frames, and it tells me kind of what I'm going to need to do that. F1 brings up an in-game Stationpedia, and you can pause the game when you're in here just by hitting this pause button. Very useful. You can search for specific info, or you can hit categories and dial yourself in. We'll be referring to this quite a bit as I try to learn and figure things out. Guides for things, like if you want to learn about mining or smelting or thirst and hydration, etc. Back to home. Factions? I don't know anything about the factions. I know there's later in the game, I believe you can set up I don't know if you set up a landing pad or not, but you can trade. You can have people land nearby and you can trade with them. I assume sell them resources or trade resources for whatever they've got. I know nothing about that process. I know it's a thing, but I can't explain what it is or how it works and all that. But yeah, that's a thing. We'll be looking at these kinds of things quite a lot, though. So when we try to figure out atmospherics and all the things involved in the atmospherics systems, lots and lots and lots of stuff. Get me out of that screen. Okay, so that's the top left. Lower left, we have 6 different entries over on this side. Oh, if you hold the Alt key, you freeze your screen, and it frees up your mouse to point at things and drag things around. We'll be doing a lot of that. So over here on the left, we have number 1 is our helmet, 2 is our glasses, which we're not wearing any currently, 3 is our EVA suit, 4 is our jetpack, which is both storage and the jet that lets us, fly around. We have our uniform, and we have a belt, and they correspond to the hotkeys for the numbers. So number 1 will bring up my helmet, 3 brings up my EVA suit, 4 my backpack, 5 my uniform, and 6 my my tool belt. So you can have these open, you can move them around wherever you want, and so on. Open and close them as needed. The game leans into the simulation side in that it tries to be very immersive. It is constantly having you move items between inventory slots and locations, put items in each of your 2 hands, so you can have a tool in one hand and like a resource in another that you need to use the tool. So I'm going to be constantly swapping things around, and that's the part that I need to practice with interface-wise, because I'm dragging and dropping, I'm using the keyboard commands. You can do either or in a lot of circumstances, and I'm not sure which is faster yet. So sometimes you'll see me dragging and dropping things. Sometimes I'll be using the scroll wheel to move my selector around and then tapping the F key to transfer an item. A lot of that kind of stuff. But as you can see over here, we've got a lot of stuff in our pockets. We've got our tool belt, lots of tools. We've got our jumpsuit that's got a cereal bar, some water, and our jetpack, which has got stuff we're going to be using quite often. So I'm going to turn off the tool, or my suit one, and I'm just going to have these open most of the time. Bottom, we have my left hand and right hand. I don't need my duct tape in my hand currently, so we'll clear that. And over on the right, we have, various readings and important information. We have internal details on our temperature and pressure inside our suit. We've got our helmet and a light. Mouse 3 I've got set for my jetpack to activate. I changed that in the keyboard settings to my mouse. Tells us how much thrust we have, how much gas we have in our jetpack. It's a gas thruster is what it is. Doesn't matter what kind of gas. It just needs to be forcibly ejected out, and it provides momentum for us to fly up or laterally and so on. A picture of us, and then external info, 0 pressure. There's no atmosphere of any kind. Temperature is nil. We're facing the 47 degrees. That changes. So if I need to know where I'm at after I've traveled a bit, knowing what compass direction I traveled in generally might get me back to the base. And then we have our vitals, hunger and thirst. So important stuff. All right. We're going to leave this alone for the moment. I'm going to disassemble it at some point, and the only thing in it are the food packs. I'll grab those a little bit later. Let's go look at our supply ship real quick. Yep, there's the Earth. So yeah, it's going straight over, so it's going to drop somewhere over there. I think that's oxite. I'd have to get a tool out to check. But here's our lander. These are the crates. So that's our electrical supplies, our survival supplies, etc. And then our tanks are here, and there should be one more tank. Where's the third tank? One tank, two tank. Aren't there three tanks? Oxygen, water, and am I forgetting one? Could have sworn there were three tanks. Huh. All right, well, we have a few options here. So if I use my mouse wheel, if you look on the left, you can see it kind of spinning through the various choices. I can mouse wheel to a particular tool, for example, like my wrench, and I can hit F, and it will move it to whatever is currently my highlighted hand, and the E key switches between your hands, so you can just pick whichever hand you want, and then scroll to the tool, and hit F, and it automatically jumps it over there, as opposed to holding Alt and then clicking and dragging. So it is faster if you learn to use the hotkeys. So with this, we can disconnect these crates. So I just point at it and it disconnects it from the mounting. And then I can move this crate wherever I need it to be. I don't really need this lander. I'm actually going to disassemble the whole lander instead of pulling individually these crates off. So for that, I'm going to grab the angle grinder, put it in that hand. And you can see when I point at something with a tool, it will tell you what you need to deconstruct it if you've got the wrong tool in hand. So right here, when I point at it with the wrench, it says in the pop-up there in the middle, angle grinder required to deconstruct. So angle grinder, deconstruct. Boom. Hey, there was a third one. I don't know where that thing was. Was it hanging out on top? Whatever. All right, so everything is out of the ship now. I'm going to relocate this stuff over here a bit to a little bit flatter area, and then we'll start assembling things. So I want the yellow one. Yeah, the yellow one. So for this, I need to get things out of my hands. Let's move you back there and move you back there. And then we can grab the handle and we're going to drag it over this way. I'm going to try to get my gear organized and then we'll start building stuff. It's going to get dark pretty quick. As you can see, the sun's heading down at a fairly good clip. How about this area right here? This looks semi-flattish. Q key to drop. Hey there, Art of Stuttering. Yeah, we're going to give it a go. I am going to try. Then we'll see if I can convince minions to join in at a later run. And, you know, do the boring stuff I don't want to do. Alright, it's going to take me a minute to get all this stuff dragged over here. I'd like it all in one spot so I don't have to run back and forth to grab things when I'm doing construction. And we'll get it even more organized in a bit. Especially like to get it over here before it gets dark. So, we're going to have some boring bits here for a short bit. So, these things wobble around like crazy. You can, with a little bit of effort, get them in the right direction. And time it so that you can drop them. Inside these crates are all the items. So we've got an active vent kit, a console kit, a door kit, airlock, passive vents, the labeler, data disk, etc. Each of them's got specific stuff. We won't have those around too long. I'll disassemble them once I get some other storage up. Pressure explosion? Oh, we're going to have all the explosions. We're not going to have just a pressure explosion. We're, I'm sure, going to experience all the explosions. I am going to find all the ways to be ignorant and self-terminate. That sun's going down fast. It's going to get dark. Yeah, as always, when I'm playing a brand new game, I'm all for interface help, mechanics if I'm asking questions about how something... Damn, that went down fast. Mechanics if I'm directly asking questions. I don't want anything spoilery. I don't think there's anything storyline involved here. This is it. It's you pick your conditions and your difficulties and your location, you land, go. There's no... I don't think there's enemies to fight. I don't believe there's fighting or anything like that. It's very much... a situation of, if I die, it's because I was dumb. And there's lots of ways to be dumb. So, you know, any dying involved, it's all my fault. I can't blame random. I can't blame anything else except for myself. Which is interesting. That'll be fun. All right, I got to make sure I keep my orientation straight. Now that it's dark, it's hella hard. You get lost really, really easily if you don't take care of a few important things. Like now. Where's my stuff? Oh, crap. I think I've already gone farther than I intended. I'm still not seeing my stuff. Okay. That's not good. It wasn't uphill. Yeah, I did too much talking. I didn't get my crap moved before it got dark. Alright, so we're back where we started here. The edge of the... Yeah, there's our lander. I was going the right direction. Where the hell did the boxes go? How did I miss the boxes? There they are. Huh. I think I went to the right a little bit too much. Alright, so we are heading 190 and 20 essentially. Should get us about where we need to be. I just got a few more things to drag over. I'll just use the edge of the can or the crater here as a kind of a directional indicator. Is that all the crates? Is it just the containers for water, fuel, and oxygen? I think that's it. Where's the grab point? Where's the grab point? Right there. All right. We want to go about 20 degrees. Yeah, there's no storyline to spoil or anything like that. There's no, like, go to this location to get this super weapon type information to give me. So it's pretty much just educating me on, you know, mechanics and stuff. But I also don't want to know, like, ultimate optimum strategies for, how to set up an airlock or wire things or that. I'm going to fumble around with that stuff myself for a bit, so. Just kind of see where I'm going with this stupid thing in front of me. Yep. Yep. Yeah, already, oh, there it is. Almost lost track of where I was. Yeah, I keep picking the wrong direction. Wasn't it like 190 and 20? Yeah, and of course, I mean, we're burning resources. We're breathing. We're burning battery power in the suit by having the light on constantly and just operating things, etc. Again, I managed to miss it slightly. How do I keep managing to miss this place? It's not this far away. Should have dropped the beacon right away. Oh, there we go. I keep managing to get to the right side of it from the direction I'm intending to go. All right, here we are. All of our stuff is moved. Yay, took longer than I expected. So I need this one first. Let's swap this thing around. Open it up. All right, so we've got basic construction materials in here. We've got walls, iron frame sections, glass, plastic sheets, wiring, all sorts of stuff. We're going to need all of that. I want to find... let's get all these things turned around, facing the right direction. Come on. There we go. I want the beacon so I don't have to run into this problem again. We'll just set this up in the middle here. So T to deploy, click it, turn it on. it's going to burn that battery. Battery cell there has got 100% power currently. It is turned on, and we have in our inventory, right here, a tablet. And the tablet can be loaded with various cartridges. I want the tracker cartridge currently. So I'm going to hit R to open up the screen for it. It's got a battery, and we're going to insert the tracker cartridge. And now with the tracker cartridge, I can turn this on. And currently it's tracking me, which is a little weird, but I think that's for multiplayer, where you can pick which character or player you want to track. And I'm the only choice currently. But if I use my mouse wheel, I can scroll it, and now it's tracking the beacon that I just sent. So now, wherever I go, it will point to the beacon. And it's going to show me the coordinates, the distance, and an arrow for the direction. So just got to remember to turn the beacon on if I go wandering off anywhere. So we'll turn this off so we don't burn battery, put it back away, turn that off so we don't burn battery, because we're just going to stick around in this little spot for a bit. It's not quite as flat as I remember it being. Okay, so we need to set up some frames. Let's grab a stack of 30 iron frames and get our welder tool in our hand. And let's start laying down some frames. So you're going to put it above a little bit? Yeah, we're on a bit of a slant here. It's fine. Let's use this as a start. So they want me to build a 3x2, if we bring this back up, or 2x3, whatever. I'm going to do that, sort of, but then I'm going to build more than that, of course. So, alright, so there's the 2x3 complete. We haven't finished all the instructions. They also want me to use the welding torch and iron sheets. So these frames have 3 essentially different conditions. There's the frame first deployed. Hey, you. Oops. Oops. Good old 17% gravity. Hey, move back a little bit. And now I really screwed it up. Let's see. You, grab, drop. All right. So yeah, these are frames that are initially deployed. I can't walk on them, so I drop in between the frames at this point. If we get out some metal sheets, which I need over here, 50 iron sheets, and swap this back for that. You gotta go there. All right, turn the welder on. We're gonna weld. That puts the cross beam in, and now I can walk on it. And if I do it again, it will fully enclose it and make it airtight, but we don't need that for this particular section. I'm just going to weld these once. Oops. Alright, I want to be able to walk on them. And again, you can see the little lines. That's gas from the welder being released and then, you know, traveling. Alright, back to you, and I'm going to swap you out for the frames again. So we've got a 3x2. Then we're going to put in a spot for an airlock, and then I'm going to do a larger base area over this direction. So we'll do something like a 5x4, I think, for our starting section. So our center point, and then 2 in every direction. Yeah, and then we'll weld this stuff up. This we're going to weld 3 times because we do want it to be airtight. It's a little hard to see where I've put some of these without the light. And with the highlight, oh, I skipped a spot. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's right, I just got to get the middle section down. Alright, let's go ahead and get this stuff welded. I need to swap back out for, whoops, wrong hand. Alright. Oh, and always remember to turn your machines off. A lot of these have batteries. If you see this little 4 dot dot dots, that means there's something inside that you can manipulate or change. In this case, the cartridge in a battery slot. This is a portable solar panel. We can recharge our small and large batteries in when the sun's up. So anytime you see the 4 dots, there's something internal. And for the tools, it's usually batteries. So both my hand drill, my angle grinder, and my welder are all using batteries. And we can check the battery charges as they get used up. So just remember to turn your tools off. You'll burn the battery if you forget. I don't think I'm going to make these airtight quite yet. It'll be a bit before I get to the point where I want to actually make them airtight. I'm not sure. I don't have a feel yet for my resources that I start with and how quickly I can get to generating the resources to replenish the supplies. I know it doesn't take a lot. Power low. Alright, so that's the warning up here. Our suit power is low, and our suit power is listed... where are you at, suit power? Oh, let's turn on the suit indicator. Suit power is listed... oh, they're overlapping. Why are you overlapping? Did I move something? I must have moved something. It's at 49%, so you get that warning at 50%. Then you'll get another critical warning at 10%. And this is a battery cell large. We do have a couple of extras in one of the crates, so I'm not too concerned about this quite yet. Sun's coming up! Alright, we need to get working. Let's turn that back off again. Turn that off. I don't remember where the default location is. Can I send it back to its default? Is that what that button was? I think that was the default. Alright. Let's finish up this welding, and then we'll look at a few things. Oops. Alright, so we've got our 5x4. This will be our first kind of hab area. Initially, it'll contain pretty much everything I need at the start. I'll probably expand this slightly. I think I'll probably end up putting frames here and here. And we'll put some of our power gen stuff over on this side. We do have to be worried or concerned about putting certain things inside the hab area versus outside because of outgassing and temperature reasons, which we'll get into shortly. We've got a lot more helper hints up top now, wanting me to do a basic power setup, get the auto lathe and the arc furnace up, build a room with a door. I'm going to turn that off for the moment. That is an eclipse. The sun is now directly behind Earth, or Earth is directly in front of the sun. It'll peek back out here in a moment. Let's go ahead and grab, or let's drop down this. Switch hands, swap items. Let's get that down, and where do we have a spare battery? One of these has a spare battery, or two. And nope. Electrical supplies. It's got to be in here. Yep. So here we have 2 large battery cells. So I'm going to grab a battery cell, and I'm going to swap out my suit battery. And make sure when you do this, you swap directly fresh battery into the suit battery. So there's no... Don't pull your suit battery, slowly drag it somewhere, and then go find another battery and put it back in. You'll get all sorts of warnings and bad things might happen. All right, and then this one, we'll just click there. And if we look at the battery, we can see it's a battery cell large, and it's currently charging very slowly. This thing doesn't charge very fast, this tiny one. But it's better than nothing. We'll get a little bit of charge. Plus, the sun's at kind of an angle, so it's not the best. Generating 0 watts, visibility 0. Once it gets a little more angle, we should start getting some power gen off of this. All right, we'll leave that alone. So no more warning. Next up, let's do... What do they want me to do? They want the power setup, solid fuel generator. So we've got a few choices for power. We got a full solar panel, not just that little one there, but we have a box with an actual solar panel. Let's get this room set up, started at least for the airlock. So I'm going to need walls. Yeah, I'm going to need walls. All right, walls. So a trick I learned with walls is, and this is part of the kind of complicated interface stuff. You got all that info in the middle of the screen, and to the left of the main text block, it says hold C or tap C, and it says 1 out of 5. You can mouse wheel through 1 out of 5, which changes the design, and you can even do a window mode for the iron window. Or you can set the design for how the kind of the riveted metalwork will look. But there's also this X crossbeam, and if you hold or you tap C, it changes the position that it's using. So what I learned, and I'm glad I finally figured it out, is that when placing these, if you want the X design to be on the inside, you want to place it so that it's the highlighter, the block highlighter, is on the outside edge, and then rotate it around. This will guarantee that the X design is on the interior facing. So if I put that in there, and then we fill this in, can't see where my highlighter's at. Cancel that, switch to that. So it needs this to finish. That puts the X on this side and puts this kind of riveted metalwork design on the outside. So, yeah, I've done some research. I did some research, and I played an hour or so fiddling around with stuff. So this I know about. So when I say first look, it's not like I just installed it and I went live. This game's way too complicated for that kind of nonsense. So I wanted to have some idea of what I was doing. All right. So, yeah, there you go. That's how you get the X design in a specific spot. So if we swap that back around, go back to this design. Actually, I want the walls still. Get the right thing here. We've got frames and walls and all sorts of stuff. All right, so I want that one, but not the window design. Wall type 1 is fine. Cancel, switch back to that. Whoops, I got that one wrong. I forgot to put it on the top section. All right, it's a good thing to know. So it says crowbar to deconstruct, so let's go ahead and fix my boo-boo. Switch to my crowbar, deconstruct, switch back to this. Actually, I need to get rid of that too. So now I need the angle grinder. Yeah, I need the angle grinder. Come here, angle grinder. Whee! And now I got too many things in too many places. All right, pick that up. Let's try this again. So I need to make it deploy above and then bring the design down to there. That's what I want. Then switch to this. That gets the X on the inside again. All right, so there we go. That's how you remove things. Just grab a tool, point at the object, and it'll tell you what you need to back it down one level. And so far, at least, it seems like you get most of your stuff back. All right. So we've got, a container. Let's go ahead and get my welding torch back out in the other hand and turn it on. Let's go ahead and throw some flooring down. I think we'll have plenty of material. I've got, 14 left in this current stack. I want to get the solar panel down, get some basic wiring so we can get some battery recharging going on. Then I'm going to get a few things out of some boxes set up. Oh, ran out. And then we'll go out and do some mining for some resources. We'll get our auto lathe and our arc furnace set up, and that'll let us process some of the early ores so I can replace, craft and replace some of these frames and sheets and so on that we're using. I need more metal sheets, iron sheets, that hand. The thing I always have to pay attention to that I forget is which hand is active with the E key, switching back and forth. And then which slot I've got selected on my mouse wheel over here, so I know where. So like right now, I've got it selected to the empty tool slot. If I hit F, I know my tool's going to go right there and come back. But I can't put this item in there because it's not a tool. So, gonna take a little practice. All right, so we weren't quite done. Turn you back on. There we go. So we've got airtight floor at least. No walls yet, but we'll work on that. Let's work on putting the solar panel up and getting some basic wiring done. So we want our electrical box. That one, that's the electrical. All right, so I need to put some stuff away. I can just drop stuff on the ground, so I could just toss this on the ground and then come back and pick it up again if I need to free up space. Oh, that's interesting. I can activate it from there. Oh, I took the canister out. Interesting. It's rolling away. Is it drag and drop? I don't think I've ever taken the canister out of this thing. Apparently it's drag and drop. All right. Got distracted. So, let's see. Oh yeah, solar panel. That's what I was trying to figure out. I needed to get some space. So, we got some space here. Let's go ahead and drop this for now and some of the other frames. Put you away. I don't need some of these items. I'm going to put some more items away eventually. All right. Then grab the APC. Oh, I already got wires. Solid generator, solar panel basic. That's the one I want. All right, so we got the kit. We got the wiring tool. I think we're all set. All right, so I'm going to put the solar panel up on top of this. So I'm going to hit F3 or mouse 3. That turns on my jetpack. So I'm in kind of hover mode. WASD lets you move around. I'll just get over where I need to be and then turn the pack off again. And I'm going to left click, and we're going to deploy the solar panel, and you can hit C again. You can either do an angled panel, or you can do a flat. I'm going to do flat for this initial one. And then C lets you rotate around where the electrical connection bar is going to be. It's to the left currently. Now it's to the north, to the east, to the south. I'm going to go out to the left direction. And I need glass to finish that off, and then we'll wire it up. Forgot to grab the glass. Where are you at, glass? First box. First box. Alright. The glass away. Whoops. Next up, let's put an APC on the wall. So, this acts as kind of a power generation control unit. It's an area power controller. So the left-hand side, depending on how I have it oriented, currently the left-hand side has two symbols, which is, I think, data and electricity. That's the input side. You want power going in at that location. So if I rotate this, that has the power and data ports at the top. You can see the lightning bolt versus the data port symbol with the boxes. And then at the bottom is the power out. So I'm going to put this here. And I'm going to... Oh, we got two of these things. Let's put you... Cancel that. Put you back here. Where is... That's the airlock. That's the one I want. Battery charger. All right, and we're going to put a battery charger over here or right next to it. Nah, we'll go here. All right, now some wiring. So switch hands, go to the wiring tool, and go to this. All right, so we got wire in one hand, and we've got a wire cutters in the other. And the reason is you need the wire cutters in hand in order to split or merge wiring. So if I right click on this, I now have this placement option. And again, C or the mouse wheel changes various things. Mouse wheel changes the direction and or how many connections that a connection is going to go. So this is saying I want a 90-degree bend, and then C will change where the thing is going to be placed. So if I wanted to connect into various things, you just change the direction and or pick the style you want. So we're going to need to connect into that portion up top. And I want a bent connection. And I want it to, whoops, I cycled right past it. Oh, damn it. That one. Yes. So I want it to connect into that section right there where the dot is pointing and then bend straight down. So there we go. Now I want to actually split. I want to send power to both of these. Let's do one this direction and rotate it again and connect it in. Then come over here, kind of do that. And this one, unfortunately, the connector's on the bottom, so I'm going to have to... do I want that connection? Because now I'm going to have to bend it again. Can I go through? Maybe I can go through. I don't actually know. Let's switch back to straight. Up and down. It's not going to let me go through the device to connect. All right, yeah, I got to go around. Switch hands. Get rid of those. And switch back. Oops. That kind. So finish that one again. This time I want to go a straight piece. So we switch to that. Then we bring it across. Yeah. Cool. All right, there we go. That's what I wanted. All right, cancel that. So we've got our solar panel. It's going to bring power into both of these. This, I now need to get my crowbar out. A crowbar. Swap places, please. We'll pry open the case, and that gets us to the innards. So this is where we turn it on or off, and we have a battery slot. So we're at 64% on the battery I have in my suit currently. We've got, how did this one do? Still recharging super slow. Let's see. Got in my inventory for a second. That thing's at 43%. That thing charge at all? Wow. That feels like that didn't charge at all. Let's grab this battery. I'm going to do another swap with my suit. So, do a direct swap. Turn that screen off. And then we've got 3 different slots. We've got battery slots here, and we've got a battery slot here. I think this one charges faster than these. So we're going to put that in there. This acts as kind of battery backup when power's not being generated actively. So at night, when we have no power hitting the solar, or no sunlight hitting the solar panel, any machinery we have cooked up downstream from this box will burn the battery charge in order to operate. Whereas these are just recharge stations. So we'll throw some batteries in there eventually when we get some more power gen up. But that's pretty much it. So I'm going to leave this open. I don't think there's a particular reason to close it, and we'll flip it on. The light will blink various combinations of colors depending on circumstances. Right now we've got no power generation and we have no power draw, so we're just going to get a flat red. As soon as the sun comes up, it'll change and it'll start flashing. All right, so we got that part done. We'll worry about the doors and stuff later. Next up, I would like to get... Yeah, let's put some things away real quick. I haven't really freed up many slots. You go back into my... Oops. You go back to there. Let's pull my tablet and put it down on my toolbar. Put some wiring away. Don't feel like I need... So these are flares. I mean, there's probably a use for flares, I guess. Light the flare. Toss the flare. Nope, that didn't toss the lit flare. Change hands. Toss the flare. So, they burn for a while. They provide local light. That's a good thing, I guess. I actually want to... Just toss it down over there. Okay. Let's get rid of... Don't need duct tape. Don't need a pill. Don't need the Atmo analyzer or the network analyzer currently. I haven't shown the mining belt yet. We'll get to that. So all we got in our inventory now is tools and the mining belt. I want to get a couple more platforms down, and I'm going to set up at least one of the other power gen options so we can make sure we can get our batteries charged as needed. So I'm going to need frames again. I'm going to need metal sheets again. And give me my welder tool. Okay. There we go. Let's actually... now let's not get the wall up. Alright, I'm going to put at least one of the generator types right here. So we've got in the stockpile over here... not this one, I don't think. This is hydroponics, airlock. The airlock one? The vents, not the labeler. No, it's not the airlock. There's the portable generator. So that one runs off fuel, which we have this big canister for, this fuel tank. So we could run it off of this for a while. I don't know how long exactly yet. Haven't played it enough. But that's one option. So that has the portable generator, the power connector kit, and an insulated canister package. That's the fuel tank, basically, for it. So we could set that up. And then there's another option, a solid generator. I'm going to do the solid generator first, because that's going to force me to go out and grab some materials mining. So let's grab that. Switch hands. Put that away. Grab that one. Whee! Alright, I'm going to put it here. So, right click. Alright, and again, we got to look at the connectors and the input location. So, let's see. That's the data port power connector on this side. Nope, that's the primary one there, I think. But that puts the input away from me. Do I want to put this one here? So, one of the gamifications that the game makes for, gameplay purposes is this is an alternate universe wherein there's coal on the moon. In real life, no coal on the moon as far as I'm aware. In this world, coal's on the moon. We're going to go mine coal. We're going to feed it into this thing and generate power via that. So the little, I can't have it up and move the pointer at the same time, but to the left side of that is the input hopper where we insert the coal. But I'm not sure I want my connectors that direction, so I'm trying to decide. I might have to put this down, take a look at it, and then redo it. I could do it this way, so I feed the coal in from this side, and then we have the power connectors. Let's do it this way for the moment, and we'll see what it looks like. We'll take it apart. So that's the hopper for putting the fuel in. That's really the only other thing. It's just that, and then a power button to turn it on. Other than that, you've got the input ports So data port and then the power out port. So I'm going to connect up into this network. Is that going to work? What do I need to take it apart? Hand drill? Hand drill. All right, let's grab the hand drill real quick. Is that the way I want it? If I do it this way, I have to move to this side. Yeah, let's do it this way. Let's try right there. So we got the power button, we got the hopper there. All right, yeah, let's try that. So go there, put that tool away, grab the wiring tool, and wire. Oops. All right, I want straight like that. And I want crooked going up the wall. That goes inside. How am I going to connect this in? Doesn't keep it along the wall. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. We'll get pretty with our stuff later. Straight, please. All right. That looks like it connects in. Oops. Turn that off. Okay, so theoretically, if we go get some coal, we feed it in, we turn it on, and it will run. I don't think I need to connect to this one. I don't think I need a data connection at this point in time anyway. Later, I think there's automation and hoppers and other stuff that might require a data connection to get things organized properly or operating properly. But I think that'll work. So let's go do something else while we've got some daylight before we lose the daylight. Put you away. And get you back off my hotbar. We're going to go mining. If we're going to go mining, I'm going to pop open. Close you. I don't need you. Whoops. My bad. What do we got? Scrubber package, residential supplies. I am going to pop that out. I want that locker so we can organize our crap a little better, but not quite yet. Mining supplies. That's what I want. All right, so let's just go over here to the side and click the mouse and hold. It's going to unpack various things. Those you've got to be stupid careful with. I have already blown myself up with a mining charge. That that has already occurred. Off camera, unfortunately, for you guys. But, yep, that task is done. All right, so these are the two things I was interested in. This gets us a second mining belt, and it also gets us a pneumatic. Oh, damn it. Once again, I took the... There we go. All right, so we have a pneumatic mining drill. Runs on some kind of gas, whatever's in that tank that we just pulled out. That's opposed to what we have in our mining belt here. And we have to swap the belts out. So this mining belt has an electric mining drill. So this one has battery power versus running off of whatever gas is in this pneumatic one. I don't know performance-wise if one's better than the other. If I had to guess, I would assume the pneumatic is probably going to be better or faster. I'm not going to use this right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss this down and leave it here. And I'm going to carefully not touch these mining charges for now. There's no atmosphere, there's no storms, there's nothing that should move these things right now. If we have outgassing from machinery, they might get up enough impetus to move a little bit, but I think everything's going to stay where it's at for now. We'll get organized later. Okay, the other reason I wanted this, because the mining belts have all of these slots. There's 2 tool slots. We've got a mining drill and a pickaxe for manual mining, and then we have all these ore slots. Having a second belt means I have an additional selection of ore slots. So we're going to go out and we're going to grab a bunch of materials before the sun goes down. Now, to be safe, we're going to turn on our beacon, so I make sure I can find my way back here. And we're going to go ahead and slot that in. And that's pretty much it. So we'll fill this up with different types of ore, then we'll swap belts and we'll fill the other one up, and then we'll come back. That's the plan anyway. So this is, I believe, iron. This looks like iron to me. Yep, this is iron. I'm not going to dig a big hole right next to my base at the moment. We'll leave this. I think this is coal.